Well, thank you so much, all of you, for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I should say something.
Oh, Phil, please.
In 1963, I went to Columbia, and I was assigned to work with a guy named Ron Atwater. And he had his black sombrero and his poncho, and I thought, whoa, I'm a little more naive than that. And, you know, I was kind of a straight guy, and it was fun to go to a place like that. They put me in Linguasaque, California, Colombia, and Ron had started a year and a half before me, and I was going to overlap a little bit. So the first thing he talked about was they had put it, his assignment was to work a little bit more in the valley and gardening and things like that, and he had got them to be able to go to the mountains over there. They were, you know, it was a little town of Linguasaque, and he had discovered that the village was pretty poor. It had a new church, but they didn't have any pews. And, you know, he figured out that what they had to do was make it something that people would want to work with, make money with. I mean, you know, make a living. And we decided that we were going to have a co-op. And the co-op was for their ponchos, or for women it was the ruanas that you put over your shoulder, and they had lost their a lot of the didn't make as much money because the Medellin had made these ruanas with cotton and wool, and you know, they were called pure wool, but they weren't. And Ron said, no, you know, we're gonna really take quality control, and we got the Swiss dye company to come out and tell us how to dye so that it wouldn't run off on other people. And the point I'm trying to say is that Ron was really smart, and he knew what to do, and it was fun too. We told the Swiss dye company to bring their kids along too, so they were, you know, here you had to control dye and things like that. No, you just put it in an oil drum and you put it as hot as you could, and you'd have good ruanas. There's a set of pictures that I took that are pretty amazing to look at what the town looked and what it looked like 6 months later, and Ron was really in charge of it. He'd come back from going to the, you know, I don't know if the reason I'm doing this is because it was so amazing how many things he could do. But he went over and he started building a ship in Ecuador, building a ship and cutting down the trees somewhere because they were supposed to be great wood trees. I mean, and then he'd come back and take a break and come to our place. We didn't have running water. We didn't have anything like that. Our joke was that there was always a guy that would come with his donkey, and he'd have 2 of the water cans, and so we called them running water. You know, pretty amazing. But so then he'd take off again, but every once in a while he'd come back and want to make sure that I was still working at those things. And it's just fun to know somebody like that and be with them. And Regina says, "Oh, God, we're so happy you come." And it's me that happy. Good guy.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And the picture's going to be shown anywhere?
Yes, when it gets dark.
Okay.
We have a video with lots of pictures that Phil